Say hi to YouTube. Hello world, YouTube. It's video number 1. Today is July 29th, 2022. I had to think about that for a second. Here's what we got. This is our next project. It's a Kenworth T800 C12 Caterpillar, 10-speed manual, 46 rears, 20,000 front, and I mean, as you can see by the looks of this truck, it's seen better days, right? Cracks in the fenders. It's just been hammered on, really, and quite frequently with these roll-off trucks, they are used and abused and not so much maintained, because, you know, if you're in the industry, you know every day you're just running. So we're gonna get started on this. Today's day 2 of working on this Kenworth T800. We just got the oil pan in and torqued out, even got a nice coat of paint on it. So now we're gonna try to pull the leaf springs off. I've never done front leaves on a truck like this, so it's kind of winging it, but I'm assuming we need to get this as low as possible, because I'm gonna actually have to jack the whole truck up when it's disconnected from the leaf springs to be able to slide that in and out. Let me actually bring the camera over here, show you. We got our pan up in there, torqued down. I actually pulled this drag link off. 1, it was bad, and 2, I'm hoping that gives me enough room to slide the spring out on an angle versus having to actually lift everything up from underneath the truck. We're gonna pull these bolts that are holding our pins in for our spring mounts. So we'll pull the 2 bolts on each end, use the air hammer, smack that pin out. We'll cut the U-bolts with a torch and lift the whole thing up. Actually, I'm thinking I'm gonna take the front wheels off and set the axle on some wood blocks, get this truck down another 6 inches so I don't have to lift it up as high. Hey Baxter, say hi to everybody. This is Baxter. He's a 13-year-old Great Pyrenees. Very nice dog. What's up, bud? Aw. All right, come on, back to work. So that's what we have there. On this side again, I might pull this drag link here. You can see, you know, how that might make it easier to get the spring up in there. But it's first rodeo on this, so we'll see what happens. All right. Day 3 of the Kenworth build.
Huh?
So day 3 of the Kenworth build.
So we were right.
This is Kieran. He wanted to quit today, but I convinced him to stay. We're cutting these fenders off. You got the back one off already? No. We pulled the tarp arms off boxes. Continuing to strip this truck down. Last night's leaf spring install is not complete. They sent us the wrong U-bolts, so we're waiting to get those back. The side's been stripped. So I wound up actually cutting this light bar off. Every one of these rollers is going to go. Part of the subframe here, we got to cut this whole rail out. If you look, crack it. Crack.
There was no other
You gotta grab a piece of scraps or whatever. It's scrap now. You've been torching on it. You know how much this cover is?
I was looking around the shop for some scrap metal and there was nothing. Nothing.
All right, keep going. Unreal. What are you gonna do? So it's the end of day 3. Work on the truck, got the toolbox off, fenders are off, light bar is off. Did you have fun?
Oh yeah.
Yeah? 10 out of 10, recommend?
I mean, probably with some sleeves.
Did you get burnt?
A little bit.
Got a little burnt? That'll happen. So, and I'm off to the spring store to get the correct U-bolts. I'll have the springs back on tonight. All right, Holly out. Hey guys, Bill here. It's been a long day. We're end of day 4 on the build of this T800. We got our doors in. Well, we got our door off and our door in. Gonna transfer over these parts. The reason why we're replacing this door, the aluminum front is actually welded to the frame. I don't know if you can see that, but the welds on these Kenworths, they break, especially when guys are closing them by pushing on the door panel and not the latch. So we got a new frame here. We're going to replace the sill, and all this is actually riveted. You can see the holes for the rivets. So we got to pick ourselves up a huck gun, complete that. Here's the truck as it sits, end of day 4. Pulling these doors off, real pain. Had to pull half the dash apart to get to the bolts that hold the door latch on, but we got it. Our springs are in. Our drag link, that side's been replaced. Again, passenger side follow up. And not much has changed at the back here. We did pull that battery box off the other day, as well as the toolbox. We just torched it. And all these brackets are going to be removed, along with these lift cylinders. We're going to reconfigure this for triaxle, so all that's going to get scrapped. So, yep. That's where we stand, and I'll pick up on this tomorrow morning sometime as we get going. See you then. So today's the end of day 6 on this T800 build. We got truck 3 in here for some maintenance. Jimmy was working on that today, and 2 other guys, Riley and Kieran. They stripped down the cab for the most part. We removed the gantry for the tarper. Cut off some of these rollers, grinding those flush. We're going to weld new ones on. So that's where we're looking. We're going to replace this back plate. New section of steel for that. Our 2x4 tube steels in for our subframe. We're going to remove all that, and keep going here. I'm hoping that we have all this fabrication work done by the tail end of next week. Tall order, but we will do our best, and we'll keep you guys updated. Phone's ringing, so I'm gonna go answer that. We'll see you soon. Good morning. It's Monday, August 22nd. I think we're day 9, day 10 on this T800 build. Nevertheless, let's show you what we got going on. We have started cutting the subframe out on the driver's side. Some new steel. One of those is a piece that will be going back in. But yeah, pretty much got this torched out most of the way. I'm gonna go over to Home Depot, get some cut off discs and slice some more out of there. So Riley and Kieran are going to be coming in here shortly. They're going to pick up on this. And again, here are some of the pieces we removed. Show you the other side. Again, the reason we're replacing this is because of the cracks that we're developing. I don't know if you can see it on this side. I don't think this one is cracked yet. But right where this plate meets here, you're getting these hairline cracks. So instead of welding them up, we'll just replace the whole thing. Friday, we managed to mount this light bar. Got that in place there. We did replace the plate behind here. That was all boogered up. It was just easier to cut it out and redo it. So goal for today, like I said, cut these subframe pieces out, section the new ones in, weld them in, and we get this hoist back down because we got hinge pins. I already torched these out. They're just sitting in there right now. But our friends over at Guide Mark machined us a real nice set of pins. So we got our bushing inserts, which will end up getting welded in here. We'll torch this over size. We'll assemble this whole thing in and make sure it's square, tack them, weld them up. We even had a hex head machined on the end of this bushing. So when it comes time to actually pull these out, you put a socket or a wrench on there, a little bit of rotation. Makes life a lot easier. So, stay tuned. So here we are at the end of day 9 or 10 or whatever it is. We got our rails in. Well, one rail. We got our singular rail in. Very nice job. Riley did get it all lined up and square. And we started cutting out the passenger side rail. There was nothing wrong with that side, but you know, symmetry, right? If you're gonna replace one, might as well do both. Also made our way over to Home Depot. Got some wood flooring, 50% off. Got our Dynamat going in. Got some holes to weld up on this cab. They had a CB antenna there. And then I'm not sure what was going on the other side, but somebody put this hole here and just put a piece of tape over it. So we're gonna weld that up too, but Matt's laying out nicely. And should be pretty cool when it's done. Not sure what we're doing with the interior yet. There's several kits online for aftermarket custom interior. Not really a fan of the color choices, so we're probably going to reach out to a upholstery shop and see what they want to redo our panels. Probably be the easiest way to do that. My hair's a little crazy today. It's about time for a haircut, huh? So yeah, that's where she's sitting, and we will see you guys tomorrow. What's happening, guys? It's Saturday night here in the shop, trying to take care of some work on truck 8. see where we're at here. Started sanding on the hood, trying to knock out some of these fiberglass cracks. Fiberglass work sucks. There's really no other way to say that. You get itchy, you get covered in fiberglass splinters. It's just a great time. But we're making it work. Still got that upper fender and cowl line we have to patch in. You see the cowl line's just disintegrated there. And what was going on is the seal, which it rides, I don't know if you can see that, but it's all bent up. And as the cab moves, because the cab is air ride, it just chafes at that and more or less eats it. I don't know if I showed this before, but we welded some aluminum slugs in the holes that we had in the cab. On the top there, more fiberglass work we need to do on the roof skin. Riley has got these frame rails pretty much stripped. All our rollers, cylinders, brackets, and plates have been removed. We've got our hinge pins in. Our friends over at Guidemark were a big help with that. And our next task here on the back side is taking these brackets for our air compressors and our air dryer bracketry, moving that inboard because we got to put a lift plate here for the new cylinder mounts, and that's going to be in the way. Let's go around the other side here. Parts go on Monday. Got slacks, wheel seals, brakes, chambers, new drums. We're still waiting on 3 more drums. We'll be doing new wheel bearings. Previous owner did the fun job of replacing that center beam, so that's nice. You don't have to worry about that. Then here's more of the pin setup. Very nice job those guys did on those. They look great. So I've got a good amount of video here. I think I'm going to try to montage this all together, put out a part 1. It's hard, you know, running this place and then finding time to upload all this stuff and editing and whatnot. Takes a good deal of time. So again, these brackets here, they're going to go inboard. Lift cylinder should mount, or the lift axle should mount right there. We've got a cross member here. That's what these bolts are for. I don't know if you can see it on the inside there a little bit. But hopefully that lift axle bracketry lines up with that nicely. Back to the cab. You plug this hole up here. This was a CB antenna. I just thought it looked stupid, so cap that hole. As far as the inside, we're doing a wood floor. You know, this is a waterproof vinyl. It's nothing fancy, but should be kind of unique when it's done. I'll tell you what, these brake pedals, terrible. Terrible to remove, terrible to put in. What a pain in the ass setup that is. My heart goes out to everybody that has to replace one of those. It's not fun at all. So, anyhow, that's where we're at. So, I believe next video will probably be putting the lift axle in or the cylinder mount brackets, depending on what gets here first. Oh, while I have you, let's show you the door. It's a little dark on this side. We did end up painting the driver's door. You can't see shit. See if I can make it to the light switch without dying. Can't see anything. Alright, we're almost there. There we go. There's our cylinders. And these are all the cab parts. We've got mirror brackets, headlights, stuff like that. Here's the door. Now, I didn't really film much of this. This was a brand new door shell, so there was no body work to really do. We did have to paint it, do the cut in. Did have to put these rivets in. But got everything cleaned up. It's just chilling over here till we're ready to put it on the truck. That's not final paint. On the outside of the door, the jam is going to be what it's going to be, but we're going to have to do the passenger door the same way. I'm thinking pull that off the truck and jam that. From factory, these Kenworths, at least on this truck, it doesn't look like they paint the door jamb. If you take a look at this one, shit's everywhere. It's just this black finish. And I don't know if we could pull this off. Maybe it'll tell you underneath. Yeah, it's still black. So, I don't know, to those who've bought new trucks or other Kenworth owners, depending on your model, maybe it is black. I think it should be white. The rest of the truck's going to be white. So, kind of silly to leave the door jambs black. But yeah, so we're rocking and rolling, and we'll see you on the next one.